It's lunchtime, and this is Brad Anderson's Lunch Break. I get invited to attend tech events all the time in Las Vegas, and whenever I can, I like to make the quick trip from Redmond and meet with other tech leaders and learn about what they're doing. This week I'm talking with journalist Mary Jo Foley, a prolific blogger, author, podcaster, and all-around expert on everything Microsoft. Come on in, Mary Jo.
Hello.
Welcome to this ginormous car.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you.
You too. How are you?
Doing really well. Doing really well. So Mary Jo, 100,000 plus reporters in the world, but it'd be impossible to find someone who has been following and has more information, more details and history about Microsoft than you. What is it about Microsoft that you find so fascinating?
It's really interesting because anytime I feel like I'm about to get bored with Microsoft does something crazy and I'm like, oh, it's not boring. Like, here's something new to cover.
So you started covering Microsoft in what, 1980?
84.
84?
Yeah.
So back then, was it pretty easy to get your arms around the company?
No, it was very difficult. And it just feels like it gets incrementally more difficult.
It'll expand and expand and expand.
It does. But I never have felt from the beginning till now that I actually do have my arms around the company.
So looking back over that history, and that's what, 33 years? Okay.
Yep.
What do you think was the low point for Microsoft? And then what do you think has caused the resurgence that you see right now?
Well, the low point, there were a few low points.
Yeah.
There were actually a couple points so low that I almost thought about quitting the beat. I just kind of felt like, I really am not.
That's like game over.
One of the times I remember where I really was kind of worried about what Microsoft was doing was when you guys almost bought Yahoo around 2006, 2007.
Yep.
What I feel like has changed, especially in the last couple of years, is Microsoft's kind of gone back to focusing on what it's good at, I feel like you guys have always been a really good company when it comes to software and services, and especially around the enterprise. And I feel like you kind of veered off that point for a while, and now that you're veering back.
We're going to play a little game called This or That.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you two topics, and then I'm going to walk you through a couple of phrases. You're going to tell me, is it this or that? Which of the two topics does it relate to?
Okay.
So the topics are going to be tech reporter or a silverback gorilla. Okay. All right, first, very hairy and fiercely territorial. I'm not talking about Paul Thurrott,
I was thinking Paul.
I knew. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, typically carries at least 2 smartphones.
Oh, tech reporter for sure.
You got it. Yep. All right.
And
Easy.
maybe
That's
even some Microsoft executives as well.
That's true. In their prime, they're about 5'9" and 390 pounds.
Developer or tech reporter? I'm gonna go with.
And you can't say both.
I'll go with gorilla.
All right. This might be a little mean, but although highly vocal, they struggle to communicate with humans.
Tech reporter. For sure.
You're a good sport.
I'm not gonna name names who came to mind when you said
But somebody actually came to mind.
Oh yes. A few people actually. People don't ask me about digital transformation as a topic, right? I mean, I think that's kind of it's jargony, it's kind of a buzzword, but people do get very concerned again about how quickly should I be moving to the cloud, and how do I know when I should think about moving something to the cloud or not? Those questions come up a lot. So I get a ton of roadmap questions from my readers and from customers about when is Microsoft going to support this on this platform, or when am I going to be able to do feature X on Azure that I can already do on-prem?
So getting specifically into my kind of part of the world, all in enterprise mobility and security, what do you hear from people there? Are questions, or what do they like about what we're doing?
I think the cross-platform thing they love, and like we talked about originally, a lot of people still don't believe when you say to them, you can do that level of kind of managing your device down to even the actual content on the device because of EMS. And they don't ever seem to actually believe it. They're like, no, probably not as good as what you can do on Windows though, right? And I'm like, well, you should look. They really keep beefing up the technology for Android and non-Microsoft platforms so that it's not just it's best only on Windows. It's pretty consistent across the platform.
I got that question so often in the briefing center 6 or 7 months ago. I wrote a blog that said, let me tell you about the things that we actually did first on iOS and on Android.
Right. And when you wrote that post, by the way, I got a lot of hate mail because I covered it, and people said, I don't want to hear what they're doing better on iOS and Android. I want to hear what they're doing better on Windows.
It's kind of a fine line, right?
Yeah.
It's really interesting, because we have to make sure we're doing all of them, but it is a change. And I'll tell you some of the telemetry in terms of the devices that we manage through EMS. 55% are iOS, 35% are Android, and 10% are Windows.
Oh, wow, really?
That's what and those are the mobile devices, right? Then you've got Config Manager, which still continues to be the way that organizations manage PCs. And in fact, what we're seeing in Windows 10 is about 1 million devices a week coming in, and over 99% of them are being managed by Config Manager.
Yeah. That makes sense, though. That seems like it fits with kind of what you guys have thought would be the case.
Okay, you've got like an incredible Twitter following, but you still log behind the top dogs. Did you know who the #1 person on Twitter is?
For tech people, you
No,
mean?
all up.
All up.
It's Katy Perry, 94 million. But I checked, and you actually have 4 followers in common with Katy Perry.
Really?
So I'm going to give you 4 statements about these 4 followers, and you're going to tell me which are true.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, 3 of them are spam bots.
True.
Number 2, 4 accounts have a total of 58 tweets.
True.
1 is a company that creates alcohol strips.
Oh, I understand why that might be. True.
And option 4, all the above.
All of the above, yep.
It actually is. Next time on Brad Anderson's Lunch Break, did you dress up like a bridesmaid for Steve Ballmer's wedding and crash the wedding?
No, not true.
I totally made that one up.
Not true.
What's the #1 question you're getting right now about Microsoft?
I get a lot of questions about how committed is Microsoft to customers who aren't ready to go 100% cloud.